Hi everybody, it's Doreen and I'm back today with day 4 of Christmas cards with the Cricut. So let's get started and I'll show you how I made this card. Okay everybody, so the first thing we need to do is get out our cardstock to make the card itself. And this is just some blue cardstock that I picked up at Michael's, or it might have even been Joann's. I think it's the Recollections collection. I'm not sure which one of the stores carries that. I think that's Joann's. And this cardstock is cut at 5 1/4 by 8 1/2. And then I'm going to take my score buddy again and I'm going to score that to make it to be a 5 1/2 by 4 1/4 inch card. So, as I said before, this is called the Score Buddy, and this is used predominantly for making cards. I do have the Score Pal, which is the one I originally got to do my cards with, and then when they came out with the Score Buddy, my husband bought me the Score Buddy as a gift. And then I also have the Martha Stewart. Someone gave me that as a birthday present. So now that I've scored my card using the Score Buddy, I'm going to go ahead and I did with this original card, I inked my edges with the Stampin' Up! Basic gray, but I didn't like the way that came out. So what I'm going to use instead is some not quite navy, and I'm going to go ahead and stamp my edges. Let's see, I got to get a something to ink my edges with. Okay, I'm back. I forgot to get my little ink dabbler or ink sponge so that I could go ahead and ink my edges. So like I said, I'm going to use the not quite navy by Stampin' Up! Instead to do my edges, because I kind of like that color better than the basic gray that I was using. It wasn't actually showing up that well when I was using it, so I'm gonna switch off and try something different with this one. So now that I've got my edges inked, I'm going to go ahead and take my top layer, which measures 5 1/4 by 4. And this is just a paper pack, some paper that I picked up quite a while ago. It was when I first got my Cricut. I bought some paper that came in a pack by Provocraft, and I still had some of it left over. So what I did was I went on ahead and I'm going to ink my edges on this one as well, real quick. And the other thing that I did down at the bottom here, right here, I took my Martha Stewart arch lattice punch and I punched out this bottom layer here. And then what I did was I took some ribbon that I had that I picked up on one of my hauls, and I put it around the edge on the left side, and then I just taped it on the back. I did the cheater method. And then I took some more pieces of ribbon. This piece of ribbon here was cut at 7 inches, and then I took some small strips of ribbon at 3 inches, and I just took them and folded them over to make like a little bow, like so. And then these little snowflakes here were actually buttons, and I just clipped off the back of those, and I took some of my glossy accents and adhered those to the ribbon. And then my final step for my top layer, I took some of my stickos, and this is the frosted lace. I took that and just ran it along some of the snowflakes on the paper. So now what I'm going to do is go ahead and put this down. And I'm just going to use my Tombow adhesive rather than my ATG gun. It just so happens that this was closer to me than my ATG gun was. And I had to be very careful on the side where I put the buttons to make sure I didn't tear the paper as I was doing this. So I'm going to open up my card, and then I'm just going to lay this down like so. And the Tombow adhesive does hold pretty good. This is the permanent. And I use this sometimes when I don't feel like grabbing my ATG gun, even though I do love my ATG gun. So now, there we have it. So now for my ornament was cut using my gypsy, and I cut this at, I believe it was, let me make sure I'm correct. This was cut at 3 inches. No, I'm sorry. It was cut at 3 3/4 inches, or 3.75 on your gypsy. And the ornament itself is on page 63. Oh no, 61. And it's this one right here. You zoom in so you can see that real quick. It's that one right there. Page on 63. And after I cut this out, and I actually cut it out on some silver paper that I had. Oh, sorry about that. I'm zooming back out. I got a new camera, so I got to get used to this. So anyway, I cut this using some gray cardstock. And then after I cut it, I took my clear embossing powder and I just inked it all over the ornament. And then what I did was I took some embossing powder that I got, and I picked this up at a rubber stamp show about 6 years ago, and I still have it. It's always been one of my favorite colors to use at Christmas time. It's called Silver Fire Opal. And I just love the way it comes and makes it shine. Kind of looks like diamonds. So I took and heat embossed that embossing powder on there. And then once I was done embossing, I took some bling or some rhinestones and adhered those down using my glossy accents again. I didn't use my IROC because I didn't have the blue rhinestones, and that's what I really wanted to use was blue. And then in the center, I took and put the clear rhinestones and adhered them using the glossy accents too. So now what I'm going to do is, I got this on 3 thicknesses of foam tape because I really wanted this to pop out. So I'm going to go ahead and take off my tape for the, what do you call this again? The foam tape. And once I take all of these off, I'm going to adhere the ornament to the card. So I got quite a few on here because I really wanted this to pop up and stand out. So now that I have all of them off, I'm going to take this and go ahead and adhere it down like that. So see how that pops up from the card? Okay, for the inside of the card, I'm going to take my Stamp-A-Majig and my sheet again, and I'm going to look and measure where I want my stamp to be. And I'm using a stamp from the stamp set by Inkadinkado called Warm Wishes, and the saying is Happy Holidays. So I'm going to ink that up, which I've already done on the sheet. And I'm going to measure where I want it to go. and I want it to go about right there. So then I'm going to remove the sheet and stamp with my not quite navy, and then press down. And then I'm going to just remove the Stamp-A-Majig. So now I have Happy Holidays. And then for the bottom, where I have my snowflakes on my card, what I did was I took that same stamp set and I put several of the snowflakes on a clear block, and I'm just going to ink the clear block up with the snowflakes, and then I'm just going to take and hold down my card and then go to have my block at the very edge or the bottom of the card and just stamp down, and then I'll remove it. So I have a few snowflakes down at the bottom, and then I'm going to take that same stamp set, and there's some small stamps in there, and I'm just going to randomly stamp some snowflakes. So that's it. Cards all made. So this is day number 4 of Christmas cards with the Cricut. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.